Hello.
Hi, Mario.
Still no gambling?
I haven't gambled yet, no. Tomorrow night, maybe.
I like to go with $20 to the machines just to play.
Well, I don't like that. But for example, we used to play blackjack, but it used to be $5 a bet.
Yeah.
Now it's $25 a bet.
That's why I like the machines. I get,
Not interested in. Plus, I like playing poker. That you can sit with $50, $20 and play for a few hours.
yeah.
But they don't have poker here at this casino.
Oh,
So Susie and I went to a beautiful restaurant last night. Coming home on the freeway, two cars crash in front of me. One car starts spinning and hits me
no.
and totals Susie's car.
Oh my God.
We were on the freeway from 9:30 at night to 11:30 at night with firework, firemen, paramedics. We were fine. Everybody was fine. But a car had to be towed. The policeman had to drive us to our casino in the back seat of the car. So I have a rent-a-car.
Yeah.
On Sunday with the rent-a-car. But then we have to figure out how the car is going to get fixed, or can it get fixed? Is it going to be totaled? I don't know.
What a mess. I'm sorry.
Crazy. Okay, we're at Lemon Ches, 38. There's no Navi Shir tomorrow because of
I know. I know.
Dover Achar Shaltiel, who's the son of the previous king. We said of Yechanya.
Mm-hmm.
Shenishal alaloso el. He had made a shvua. There should be no, or Hashem had made a shvua that there would be no remembrance of the family of Yechanya, but with his birth, that neder that Hashem made was wiped away. Zerubbabel, Shenizra Bavel. He was created. Zerubbabel was born in Babel. Mashmo Nehemiah ben Chakalia. Okay, for Ezra Nehemiah, that's the same person as Zerubbabel. Yehuda and Chizkiah b'nei Rav Chia Avu Yasu b'Sudasa Kamei Rebbe. Yehuda and Chizkiah were the sons of Rav Chia. They were sitting at the Suda in front of Rebbe. Lavi Kamri v'Lamidi. They were quiet. Amalu, Rebbe says, Agvu Chamra Adar to keep Kiechad. Give them some wine to drink, so they'll speak up. Kivin de Ifsum, they got drunk. Paskuva Amru. Ein bein David Ba al Sheichlu Shtebate Avos B'Yisrael. Mashiach is not going to come until the following houses have been wiped away. Rosh Golosh Bavel, the Nasi Shmeret Yisrael. The exilarch in Bavel and the Nasi in Eretz Yisrael, which is Rebbe, Shnemar, Vayela Migdash Le'even Nigaf, Uletzor Michshol Lishnei Bate Yisrael. So Rebbe said, you're throwing thorns in my eyes. You shouldn't be upset. Yayin adds up to 70. The afsod nitain b'shivim mosios. Sod also is gemat. So when you drink wine, secrets come out. Nicholas yain yosef sod. Amrav chizram amar amilam rav chama dorsh ma'ay bar mar. Ma'idich siv. Vayiskor Hashem al ha'ra'ah. Vayiviyah aleinu ki tzadik Hashem Elokeinu al kol ma'asav asher asa. Mishum tzadarik Hashem. Vayiskor Hashem al ha'ra'ah. Vayiviyah aleinu. Because Hashem is a tzaddik, He punishes us. In Stuck us HaKadosh Baruch Hu Am Yisrael, Shehigdim Golus Tzidkiya v'od Golus Yechanya, and v'od Golus Yechanya Kayemis. That is, Yechanya, the Melech, was taken into Golus 20 to 30 years before Tzidkiya. in order that there should be a flourishing Jewish community in Bavel. T'chsiv Bey, B'golos Yichanya, V'eskol Anshe, Hechayil, Shivim, Alafim, V'acheresh, V'amazgir, Elef. There were 7,000 soldiers, and whatever the Cheresh and the Mazgir was 1,000. Cheresh, even Shaposchim, are called Nasin Kechveshim. Once they start talking Torah, everybody is quiet. Mazgir, even Shesogrim, Ba'alacha, once they reach a conclusion, Halacha, Shuv, Ein Poschim. It's closed. Kamayu Elef. Ula Amar, Shehigdim Shteishanim V'Noshantem. The Gematria of Noshantem is 852. And the Klala, this is given in the Tochacha, that V'Noshantem Ba'aretz V'Shchatem V'Asitem Pesach Mlas Kol, V'Asita Rabbi Hashem Lokech Lachisenu, it doesn't become a Yom Zashmai V'Saretz, Ki Avod Tamidun Maher, I will get rid of you quickly. So the Maher was that they got, the Golus was 850, not 852 like was promised. On Ravacha Bar Yaakov Shmamina Meher.
Oh, I'm sorry, where are we holding?
38A2.
That the Beis Hamikdash was built 440 years after they came into Eretz Yisrael. It existed for 410 years, 850 years. No Shantem Bigematria is 852. So he got him out of there. He didn't before it reached the full conclusion. Talk about an Adam Yechidi Nivra. Person was created by himself. So that the Apikorsim wouldn't say Harbi Rishuyas B'Shamayim. Multiple rulers in heaven. Each one created their own species. Davarachem, and they had tzaddikim, and they are rishoyim. He was created Yechidim, Shelo Yuat tzaddikim oimim anu bnei tzaddik, that the tzaddikim will say, we are children of tzaddikim. Rishoyim and anu bnei Rasha, because we all come from the same person, Adam Arishon. Davarachem, and they are mishpachos. Shelo Yu mishpachos bizgorsu, so families wouldn't fight with each other. Uma achshor sheniver yachid misgoros. Now that he was created by himself, and his children misgoros are fighting, so nivushnam alachas from kama. If they were born from two different people, not so how much more fighting would there be? Davarachem et ne'agazlanim u'ne'achamsanim. Because of theft, ma achshor sheniver yachidi goes of sin. Even though we're all from the same person, so we're all families, yet we steal from each other, nivru shnayim, and they would have nothing to do with us. Allah has come for kama that there would even be more stealing. Ulagid duloso, to show the power of Hashem. Torabon. Lagid duloso shamachem malach machem ochma kadosh baruch hu. Adam toveh kamem mabes b'chosem echad. A person runs a mint. He uses one stamp, and all the same coins come out. V'kulan domim zelzeh. Kadosh Baruch Hu toveh kolodim b'chos b'shalom rishon. Kadosh Baruch Hu created everybody in the same style as Adam Rishon. V'nechad mem dom chavero. Every human being looks differently. Shneimar tisapech kechomer chosom v'yasru k'mo levush. V'ma ein partzufei domim zelzeh. Why did Hashem create that the faces of human beings are different? Shelo yira adam dira noav isha noav v'yomer shalihi. People will confuse other people's wives for their own. They won't recognize them. Shenemar v'yimanim Hashem oiram uzra rama tishaber. Tanya Raber oimer b'shoshet v'ram adam ishtan v'chavero. Person is different from his friend three ways. B'kol is sound, his voice. B'mar, the way he looks. U'v'das, the way he thinks. B'kol of amar mishum erva, because we want people to look differently so people recognize their wives. B'das b'nei gazlan v'am chamsanim. We were created with das. If everybody thought the same way, they would know where people hide their valuables, and the gazlanim would go and steal them. About him, Adam Nivra Erev Shabbos. Adam Harisha was born Erev Shabbos. Ma shlo yuminim oim reshutafay lo HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'ma'aser Bereishis. The Apikosim otherwise would say Adam was a partner in the creation of the world with Hashem. If he becomes haughty, they will say Yatush Kadmacham Maisabratius. The lowly wasp or flea was created before you. The other Mandar says he was made Erev Shabbos so he could go into the mitzvahs of Shabbos right away. So he can enter into Suda right away. Like a human king. He built a palace, Suda. He made a feast. The Suda was prepared before the Orchim were invited. And we darshan. He created the whole universe with wisdom. The 7 days of creation. Rivers and the oceans and all the other necessities that Hashem created for men. Shulchan Aroset Tikra, the Adam V'Chava. Agape Merim and Chorus, Rabbi Rav Kana Rami, Ksiv Agape, Ksiv Al Kisei, is it on the high or is it on a chair? Bechil Agape, V'Sof Al Kisei. Mi Pesa Yosreina Chasr Lev Amrlo, Arokadosh Baruch Hu, Mi Pisul is there. Who seduced who to eat from the tree of life, from the tree of knowledge? Isha Amrlo. The Ksiv Noif Isha Chasr Lev. Tai Rav Meir Omer Adam Arishon Mikol Olam Klo Hutzbar Afaro. Adam Arishon's dirt was gathered from the four corners of the earth. Shneimar Galmi Ru'ei Necha. Uksiv Ki Hashem Einav Mishatitos Polaris. Amar Rav Shimon Ben Rav. Adam Arishon Gufo Mi Bavel V'Rosh Eretz Yisrael. His body was from Bavel, his head was from Eretz Yisrael. Evar Mishar Rutzis. His limbs were from other places in the world. What about his buttocks? Amravacha me akra de agma. From one of the lakes or ponds, which was in Bavel. Amrav Yechon Bar Chanina. Shtemisrei shows Havi Ayom. The sixth day of creation was 12 hours. Shari Shana Huzbrafro. The first hour, the dust from the whole world was gathered. Shniyat Nasa Goylim. Then they made a form. Shlishis Nimtuchoivar. Then they fastened his limbs. Revius Nizrakom Neshama. Then the Neshama went in. Chamishis Omad al Raglab. He got up in his fifth hour. Shishis Koreshemos. He called all the animals by their name. Shviz Nizdav Golochav. He married Chava in the seventh hour. Shminis Alu Lamita Shnam Yardu Arba. Cain and Evel were born within the hour. She's in the ninth hour they were told not to eat from the tree. Asiri Sarach, they ate from the tree in the 10th hour. Achadasrei Nido, they were adjudicated in the 11th. Shtemisrei Nitrod V'Halachlo, they were exiled in the 12th hour. Shenemar Adam Bikar Ba Yolim. A wild animal doesn't have control over a person unless he acts like a behemoth. Nemar, nimshal kabemus nadu. Shah b'sof arami. Amar vidam rab. Shah should be getting kurboch livrois adam or kasacha shamal chashem. When he created the first person, he gathered one group of malachim. Amar lamertonchem. Nasa adam etzamenu. Should we make man? Amar l'faribar shalom ma masa. What does he do? Amar lahan kach lekach masa. Amar l'faribar shalom ma enosh kisus kerenu v'adam kisus kedenu. You don't need to create him. He put his little finger and burnt them up. Kashnia and Kashlishis. Second group of Malachim, third group. Finally, the third group, nothing will work because the whole world belongs to you. Even Shigilan Shedor Mobile, Van Shedor Floga, Shemasem Kolim. He reached the generations of the flood and then of the tower, where the human beings were enacting well. The people said these early man is not good. Omer lehen, vad zikna anihu, v'ad siva ani esbol. I will tolerate them until I age. He was from the beginning of the world and the end of the world. Once he sinned, Hashem squashed him down. Made him smaller. There was an initial plan and a later plan. And I put my hand on you. He was from the ground until up. Kadosh Baruch Hu shrunk him. The psukim are in distinction. It's one attribute. That means the distance, side to side, kola oilam, and the distance from the ground up, kola oilam, is the same. That's midahi. It's the same measurement. I mean, the universe is infinite. It's infinite that way, and it's infinite that way. I mean, that's how you have to view it. He spoke Aramaic. Told us Adam. Hashem showed Adam Rishon all of his generations. Dor v'chachamav, the Rebbeim. Even Shigila Dor Shel Rabbi Kiva, Samech b'Torah. So he was happy in the Torah of Rabbi Kiva. He was sad when Rabbi Kiva was killed. Omar v'li ma'yikru echa el. He was an apikoros, shenemar. Which is an abbreviation for Azna Talibcha. Hashem had a whim. He was somebody who tried to make an artificial foreskin, weighing weights, pulling out down the skin. So the problems with bris gives us that halacha. He denied Hashem of rubris. So the bris that we're talking about here is the bris with Hashem. You should learn Torah all the time. You should know how to respond to the apikoros. That's a goyish apikoros. Aval apikoros Israel. Kol shekain the pokart fei. He's worse than a goy because he knew better. Whenever we see that they're non-believers, they give their teretz right away. When it says Nasa Adam b'tzalmeinu, let us make man in our image. Which is plural. And Vayvralokim is Loshen Yachid. Then it says, Hava ner davin avlasham svasim. Let us go down and mix up the languages of the Torah book. And then it says, Vayer Hashem lirosev samigdal, which is singular. Then it says, Kimi goy godel asher lo elokim kravim elav, kashem elokeinu b'chol kareinu elav. And then it says, Umi kamcha Yisrael goyecha b'aretz, asher holchu elohim lifdos lo la'am. Ad deker son doma v'atik yomin yosvi. The seats have to be laid out and raised, and the ancient one sits. So it's also Loshen Rabim, Loshen Yochid. So Hanech Lamali, why do you have this? So like Rav Yochanan, Number one, to show Kodesh Baruch Hu's humility, that he discusses with his heavenly court. What are you going to do? Shenemar, Big Zeras Irin Pitgamo V'Maimer Kadishin Sheilto. This is Hatin Kuli. That explains all of the Stirim Psukim. But what about Adai Karson Ramav? What are these two chairs? Mike Lememar. Echad Lo Vechad Lo David. Hashem gets a chair in Doda Melech, which is Mashiach. Echad Lo Vechad Lo David Di Rabbi Kiva. Kiva Masata Oitz Shechina Chol. The Shechina is holy, and David is a human being. Why are you making the Shechina Chol? Ela Echad Ledin Vechad Letztov. The two thrones, one for Tzedakah and one for the din. So kiblimine or lo kiblimine? Did they accept this? Choshma. Echad Ledin Vechad Letzedakah Di Rabbi Kiva. Rabbi Kiva says the two thrones are for din and justice. That's not your expertise. I got it. Your expertise is in the technical details of Nagoyim and Ayalos. Rather, leave it to us. One is a kise, the other is a footstool. Kise leishav of sharfev ladam raglo. Rav Nachman, Haiman the other ladur liminim, Rav Idis lahader. Somebody should respond to Napikoris if he has the ability like Rav Idis. If not, lo lahader. And Amrahu mina lo Rav Idis. A min said to Rav Idis. Says Vel Moshe Amar Alei Hashem. What do you mean Alei Hashem? It should say Alei Alai. Come to me. So the Gemara answers Zeh Metatron. It was a Mala. Sheshmo Kashem Rabba. His name was like Shakai, like the name of Hashem. T'chsiv. Hinei Anachi Sholech Lechem Malach L'fanecha Yishamer M'panav U'shma B'kolo. Al Tamer Bo Ki Lo Yisali Fishachem Kishmi B'kirbo. My name is in this angel. So the min continued, so maybe we should worship it. Metatron. So, Al Tamirbo means Al Tamreini Bo. Don't switch me for this. So the Apikoros jumped in and said, Im Kain, what does it mean? Lo Yisal Fishachem? Don't turn your face to their sins. You already gave them Tochacha. Omar, so Rav Didi said, Heminusu B'Yodan. They had Amunah. And we have Amunah. The filu befrunkte nami lo kablili. Even if they didn't want a shliach and a mala, they didn't want anything. They wanted just Hashem. Hashem himtir al stom ve'al amoraga fritz ve'esh meis Hashem and Hashemayim. Hashem brought down fire and brimstone on Sodom. It should say, not Me'ez Hashem, it should say Me'ito. Otherwise, it sounds like somebody else is referring to somebody else. Like two different powers. Omlahu Koives, a launderer told the Tana, let me answer him. Shavke Anamadril, I'll answer him. Nemar Vayomer Lemech L'Nashav. Lemech, one of the grandchildren of Noach, said to his wives, Adat Sila Shma'an Koli, Nishem Lemech Hazinali Mercy. So what do you mean Nishay Lemech? They're all Lemech. Nishai, it's the same. These are my wives. Nishai Miboyle. Ella. Mishtoi Krehachi. It repeats it again. Achanami Mishtoi Krehachi. By Stom it also repeats it. Menolachaha. How do you know this? Omar Mepirkid Rav Meir Shmili. I heard it from the drushes of Rav Meir. Rav Yechon Kavadosh, Rav Meir, B'Pir Kavadosh, Tilsa Shmaisa, Tilsa Garata, Tilsa Matli. When Rav Meir would darshan, he would do 1/3 halacha, 1/3 agarata, and 1/3 parables. He knew Aesop's fables with the foxes. He knew 300 of them. We only have 3 remaining. Okay. Walter,